Hello world, it is Thursday, October 29th, and I'm trying something new. I'm using Facebook Live rather than pre-recording the video, and I'm going to try to make an effort to do this every day at 8:45. I will also save the recording and send it out via YouTube, through our YouTube channel via Constant Contact to our distribution list. But I had heard somewhere along the line that Facebook tends to treat live stream videos much better than they do recorded videos that are recorded on other platforms and posted. So we'll see what happens. Today I'm going to be reading from Rise Up, Spirituality for Resistance. The title for the devotion is Get Angry, and it's written by Ann Hoffman. And Ann bases the devotion upon the Gospel of John, chapter 2, verse 15. Making a whip of cords, he drove all of them out of the temple. He also poured out the coins of the money changers and overturned their tables. And Ann writes, how's that rage of yours? Have you got it pushed back into some jack-in-the-box waiting to be cranked into exploding? Some days it feels like that, doesn't it? Some days I could smash half the world and walk away happy. But anger has a habit of turning on itself, especially if you try to push it down or run away from it. Jesus was not one to run away. How could he run from what was happening? All that colluding between the temple hierarchy and the state, Rome, all that profiteering at the expense of the weak. It would have made anybody furious. He hit his breaking point, wielding that whip, animals squealing, wood splintering, and coins clattering. Sometimes the answer to that famous question, what would Jesus do, is not always what we think. So don't feel like you have to be nice all the time. Don't feel like you always have to accommodate and compromise and stir in all that honey. Go ahead, do it. Release your inner table overturner. If you see something, say something. Be angry and let your anger erupt in a creative energy that once loosed will be fearless in resolve, and a powerful sign to those without hope that all is not lost. And Ann's prayer. God, you see it, don't you? You see that unbounded greed loose in the world. You see the bullies running amok. Help us get angry to a purpose. Direct our rage like a laser, and let us cause enough commotion to call attention, to stir resolve, and catalyze your sleeping people. Amen. Well, I think it's an important lesson for us in this devotion that following Jesus, following Christ, isn't always about being nice, per se, or containing our emotion. Because even Jesus showed all kinds of emotion, even anger. But he saved his anger for the times in which he saw systemic oppression of the suffering in his world. When he saw greed and self-interest take the forefront over caring for one another and living for one another. When he saw religiosity being used to manipulate people rather than to change the world. So if there's a lot going on in the world that makes you anger, harness that energy for good. Use it to help you do something positive in the world, to bring attention to inequities in the world, to bring attention to issues in which people are being downtrodden and discriminated against. People are being forgotten. Use your anger. Don't ignore it. Don't tamp it down. Because often what happens is if we, in those kinds of situations, which are good situations, if we try to push our anger back inside, eventually, at some point, it will erupt in an inappropriate way and in an inappropriate situation And the person you're facing will bear the brunt of your anger, and then it's no longer righteous anger. So don't be afraid of your emotions as you see what's going on in the world. Harness that energy and let it propel you forward into doing something more. Hope you have a great day, and I will try to talk to you again tomorrow.